Hello everyone. Why has Meghan gagged this? Oh my gosh. Meghan is nervous. Meghan is scared. Are you satisfied? What do you think she wants to bury deep in obscurity and not find out? Her dirty dark past? Or the way she hypnotized Harry? Well, I'm talking about the kids and the DNA. Are we not permitted to speak? So, what exactly is the big deal here? It had the potential to be so productive, but more importantly, when you hear the terms non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, floating around, you are aware that there are a few issues. Undoubtedly, it is a peculiar universe in which we all find ourselves, as I am certain you will concur. The fact that Harry and Meghan were on the Sunday morning show that was, well, on CBS, is something that we are all aware of. So it is a little bit similar to this particular recent tale, and it was intended to be this sort of reset for Meghan, you know, this sort of like re-pictionary as a sort of pleasant, down-to-earth, mother of two, that sort of stuff. On the other hand, once again, they were clothed in beige and appeared to be something that could have been taken off the packaging of a caramel can from the 1970s confectionery brand. I was under the impression that this was the woman who did not like to conform to, you know, sort of, how do we put this delicately, probably not bold colors, right? To reiterate, as you can see, this is a complete and utter contradiction at this point. Honestly, does anyone believe Meghan is Archie and Lili's biological mother? If anyone believes it's true, comment number 1. And if anyone doesn't believe it, comment number 2. Personally, I'd go with number 2. Nevertheless, this is the point at which things become even more perplexing. Since, as we are now aware, whatever the item was called, the parent network or something like that, I brought it to your attention that there is already a lot of things that are similar to that. In light of this, it is evident that somebody thought that this was a good idea to remarket themselves. In addition, I am not entirely certain of the function that they provide. Are they the ones who answer the phones? Are they able to answer a major portion of the questions? Who will know? Nevertheless, one of the things that definitely stood out as peculiar, and all of this is now becoming clear as a result of that interview with CBS. If you recall, I thought it was really brave of many of the people who were interviewed and shared, honestly, their awful experiences. You know, whatever it is, to go on camera and discuss it is incredibly brave. I thought it was very brave. It was clear that a significant number of them were experiencing a great deal of unease. I mean, you know, there you are, actually sitting opposite or in the room with two of the most famous people in the world. And regardless of whether you like it or not, that might be a little unsettling. In addition, you will be required to tell your narrative to a team and a large number of cameramen who are all surrounding you, which is a challenging situation. And as a result, I felt true compassion for those individuals. On the other hand, you might have believed that that specific experience would have been beneficial for them in some ways, because there they were, sharing their stories in the hopeless hope that something similar would not occur again in the future. This specific occurrence, you know, this meeting would have been extremely beneficial for the former royals. You know, perhaps to dispel the notion of how they are, you know, to put out a positive spin. You know, this is the most essential thing that could be suggested. It is interesting to observe this rather than being overjoyed about that particular meeting. And in fact, you could say something like, well, okay, you know, you're quite happy to share pictures online. Perhaps you know what it was like to meet Harry and Meghan. Describe the manner in which you interacted with them. Evidently, and as is customary, we are required to state that apparently, according to sources that are in very good positions, they are not permitted. We are not entirely certain as to the reason why they are not permitted. It is strange that CBS has taken such a strong stance on this matter. If you were marketing Harry and Meghan, or if you were looking out for their public interest, this might help to portray them in a more favorable light. It's important to note that these two individuals are meeting with regular folks. You know, this could have been a nice spin, because obviously when Catherine and William meet people, they, you know, people get interviewed right away in the street. Given the recent reaction that Harry has had with his tabloid tales and Meghan's long wine fest, this might have been a positive spin. Or, to put it another way, what did you say, or how did it all go? Additionally, you are going to get both the good and the bad. Some individuals do not have any interest. Some of them are. That is the risk that you want to take. On the other hand, it was peculiar that this particular action, which some people may now claim, is quite staged and orchestrated, would be best avoided by mentioning it on social media. According to a source that is quite highly situated, it appears that images were not actually encouraged. To put it another way, one could say that they were discouraged. I think they should be sued for slander, and maybe someone could show Harry how it's done. Their behavior educates us about them so much more than anything they have ever said. You have not yet heard. Jane Pauley wasn't allowed to ask questions about Meghan's flying monkeys, who harassed and trolled Catherine and William. Hope they're super safe in Cartagena. Honestly, I despise her. Meghan is so arrogant and controlling that she triggers so many people's irritation and disgust with her. Meghan, throughout the CBS interview, had a smile on her face even when talking about losing a son or daughter. She truly is a disgrace. They are both lucky the king has not put a stop to their constant bullying of the royal family. Unreal, but in fact, she was the center of attention for 15 to 20 minutes of national TV time all about her. Never mind, it was supposed to be about the parents of the children of suicide. It was her TV time, and she made herself the central character and was giddy with herself being in that position. Everyone is paying attention to me, and isn't it glorious? Shame she had to let those other people props on so she could try to show she cares. Even Meghan would be called Princess Henry, which is Harry's actual title, and this would then be used. However, Harry can indeed be stripped of the prince title, which can and has been done before in England and other countries. The monarch issues new letters patent to remove the title, signed and agreed by Parliament. Currently, the other titles have to be removed by Parliament. Additionally, Harry can be asked to put all titles into abeyance. This would be handy in the event of a divorce, and then Meghan wouldn't have any title, and they could be handed back, or not, at a later date, to Harry, depending. Harry and Meghan don't care about these people's heartaches and family woes. They only care about themselves. If they cared so much about other people, then they wouldn't be bullies themselves, and they wouldn't allow the Sugars to continue to bully people online. In fact, if they had any genuine care about this, they wouldn't force themselves onto these topics and people, but quietly, privately support them instead. They will never have people's respect, making themselves so self-important. She does that no one else will have her, rather like a pesky salesperson that bugs the hell out of you. Honestly, it is no longer possible to put these two in a better light. Their behavior has been completely unacceptable. They have been cruel and vindictive to the royal family. What relaunch is this? I've lost count. At this point, they are trying to shove themselves down everyone's throat. It won't work. We will never forget how she treated Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Catherine, along with her SS minions, and how she bullied Princess Charlotte. They are both loathed. I believe many people are like me. I would never believe that I could hate someone I've never met. But just going by how they treated our beloved Prince Philip and late Queen. Sorry, I can't forgive them for that alone, but a pair of junkies dictating how the rest of us have to behave is unbelievable. It isn't just that, and what they did was evil enough. They are relentless, and to a family that had never done a thing to her. The woman is possessed, and she turned a man against his own family. It's difficult not to have bad feelings towards her. Besides, my question is, who does this female think she's kidding? The whole thing was so obvious. The hand on the knees screams, "Shut up!" The glare on her face when Harry dared to speak. Not to mention at this point, who would believe a word out of that viper's mouth? This debacle hasn't remarketed anything. It's just reaffirmed the negative opinion that most people have of them. I'm surprised at Jane Pauley, a seasoned journalist of her years, playing into this farce. who said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to tear it down." Here's proof positive of that. In particular, do you see that the interviewer came across as fake? I think she might have managed to get in a few subtle digs at the couple, maybe my imagination. I've never heard of this woman before, so wasn't looking to defend her, but I noticed a couple of things she said that were ambiguous and open to interpretation as a dig. Trouble being, if she's too subtle, it will be missed or misinterpreted. I think that no one can be naive enough to believe anything Markle says. So are these interviewers intentionally baiting Markle in order to make herself look even more ridiculous, similar to that recent women's forum where she was asked to tell the dish soap story again? That surely must have been a joke. A joke on Markle. In fact, why do people put up with them? They are not interested in anyone other than themselves. In the end, it is not wrong to say that it's a very strange world we are living in. God help all of us survive. I heard that she absolutely screamed at the cameramen or others about the question Jane Pauley asked her about her not wanting to live anymore. That said, Markle making demands on those parents was not wise. I suggest that those parents left with not such a positive feeling Char's opinion about the so-called royal couple. It didn't go over well with the New York City parents at the school in Harlem when they were asked to sign an NDA, and they were very vocal about it. How about you, then? What are your thoughts on the issues that Meghan and Harry have shared? Have a comment below, please. I am grateful that you checked out my video. Through the act of liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, I am hoping to acquire a great deal of affection from the viewers. Every day, we make it a point to strive to provide content that is both of higher quality and more fascinating. Goodbye, and I hope to see you again soon.